of the world's largest economies, China and the United States, locked in a serious trade conflict. Suddenly, China slaps a massive 50% tax on American goods, including liquefied natural gas, LNG. This decision sends shock waves through the global trade and energy markets. Governments, businesses, and everyday people are left asking, what does this mean for the US? What does it mean for China? And how will the rest of the world be affected? Today we'll unpack how a single tariff can ripple through the international markets, shape alliance, and potentially spark new waves of doing business globally. With LNG taking center stage, China's decision to impose a 50% tariff on many US goods directly responds to recent American trade actions. Tariffs are like taxes on imported products, and 50% tariff is incredibly high. By setting it at this level, China sends a message that it will firmly protect its market power and economy. Over the past few years, trade experts have warned of a slow showdown between these two powerful nations, and now we are witnessing it in real time. What does this mean for America exporters? They risk losing one of the world's biggest markets, which can hurt their sales as well as profits. For China, placing these tariffs comes with a risk, but the country seems prepared. Beijing is trying to show that if the US applies pressure, China can and will push back just as firmly. The global community will watch us to see if this move leads to further escalation or if this forces both sides to renegotiate the last trading agreement. One of China's most striking aspects of retaliation is its focus on US liquefied natural gas, LNG. For years, the United States has been working to grow the LNG exports, hoping to strengthen its role as a global energy leader. However, by placing a 50% tariff on the US LNG, China is making American gas far less attractive in its market. You might wonder if China needs LNG because of its enormous population and booming industries. Indeed it does, but China also has a major LNG providers such as Australia, Qatar, Russia. Australia alone supplies over a third of China's LNG imports, with Qatar making up to about a quarter. Thanks to our new pipelines and competitive gas prices, Russia is another rising player in China's energy mix. These relationships mean China can afford to buy less from the US if it must, softening the blow of this trade conflict. From the US perspective, energy companies are suddenly stuck with gas that they expected to sell to China. They will need to find new markets, which might not be easy in the short term. Although America LNG is valuable, shifting trade routes involves extra costs and logistic hurdles. These challenges may delay or cancel future US projects that boost LNG output. The impact of China's decision goes far beyond just these two countries. When major economies clash, it often creates a domino effect that can touch everyone, from small businesses to entire continents. Europe, for instance, may see an increased flow of American LNG as US suppliers look for new buyers. Some European nations might celebrate lower prices, but others could worry about relying too much on any energy source, especially during political tension. A large trade conflict can also cause investors' uncertainty, shake up currency values, and challenge stock markets. If demand drops, companies that depend on selling to China might cut back on production or reduce their workforce. On the other hand, China reduces reliance on the US LNG, could strengthen its ties with Australia, Qatar, and Russia, creating new economic bonds among those nations. These tariffs can also affect global alliances. The United States and several European countries belong to the G7, which often collaborates on economic policies. If Europe starts buying more American gas, or if the US tries to sway them against China, it might lead to disagreements within the group. In other words, China's tariff decision is a reach that extends far past the energy sector, possibly altering diplomatic relationships in ways we may only fully understand in the coming year. Even though these tariffs might appear harmful for all sides, they can also push countries to think more creatively about their energy and trade strategies. For the United States, losing a key buyer like China means companies must seek out different markets. This might push America's producers to innovate, reduce costs, or sign new trade deals with other growing economies over time. This could make US LNG more competitive worldwide. China's move demonstrates that it values having multiple energy suppliers to avoid dependency on one single country. This could encourage further investment in pipelines from Russia or deeper partnerships with Australia and Qatar. Meanwhile, other nations watching from the sidelines might decide to diversify their own trade options. Nobody wants to be caught off guard if tariffs suddenly appear in their direction. These shifts may also create an opportunity to invest more in clean, renewable energy. The more unpredictable fossil fuel markets become, the more sense it makes to nations to expand wind, solar, and other greener power sources. This forward-thinking approach could reduce future trade conflicts based on oil or gas supplies and lead to a cleaner planet. A 50% tariff isn't just a number, it's a powerful sign that global trade is changing quickly. As China and US test each other's limits, other countries observe and wonder how best to protect their economies. While the future may be uncertain, these tensions often spark new ways of cooperation between diversity and planning on the long term. The story of energy, trade, and global alliance continues to unfold, and the consequences of China's bold step may guide international policies for years to come. Leave a comment so we can keep the conversation going. And thanks for watching.